Hi, welcome to my channel, Frugal Living. Today I'm going to share with you an interview I had with Madonna Lazzo-Smith. She's going to share with us tips on how to keep your little one entertained and learning while still on a budget. If you're interested in that, stay tuned. Kids with my previous interview with Alicia Coco Graham, and now I want to talk with you to kind of talk a little bit about how we can budget and help our younger children. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into working with children?
Hello again. My name is Madonna Lazzo-Smith. I'm a mom to a 1-year-old toddler, and I'm also a speech language pathologist. I've been a speech language pathologist for 7 years now and counting. And really fast, before I go into how I started working with kids, is just a little bit of background of speech language pathology, because not everybody knows, unless they've experienced, interacting maybe with speech language pathologists, they know who we are. So basically, speech language pathology is a really long title. So I'm just going to shorten it to SLP. So SLPs, we work with different individuals who have communication needs. You know, we work in school settings, in hospital settings, private settings, and we work with individuals for someone who might have autism, hard of hearing individuals, kids who have articulation difficulties or stuttering and things like that. And yeah, those are some SLPs. And how I got into it is I'm a bilingual speaker. I speak Tagalog and English, and I was really fascinated with language and communication because, you know, what makes us social beings? Communicating. Right when we're born, after being in our mom's stomachs for 9 months and being born, we are ready to learn. So I thought that was really fascinating, that communication can go into so many developmental domains, and I really fell in love with that. And right now, the main population I work with is from birth through 5 years old, and elementary school as well, because there's a lot of power in early intervention, and also a lot of research going towards, knowing that 0 to 5 years old is where a lot of that development and brain growth goes, right? And my mission is
Yes.
really to encourage parents, empower them, and really educate them on how 0 to 5 is the key to our future generation. You know, there's a lot that goes into this part of development, and I'm here to kind of support and coach them, give them ideas and strategies to support and maximize their child's growth. So that's where my heart's at, the little ones.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the little guys too. I always say that because I last year was my first year teaching, and I always say I like to do the younger ones because that's before they really know how to argue about certain things,
No, I
and
also
they
I
still
say that
are teachable.
I'm not that tall, so little ones, they still think I'm an adult. When it
Yeah.
comes to like middle school, high school, they start treating me like I'm their equal, and I'm like, I have too many years ahead of you
Yeah.
for you guys to talk to me like that. Yeah.
Yes, I've dealt with that for a long time. I'm with you on that one. Yeah, that's a whole other story. I've been there. Um, Lately, we've been talking a lot. Like I had mentioned before, I had an interview with Alicia Coco Graham, and we've been talking a lot about virtual learning on a budget. And when you have a younger child and you've already got, okay, I've got the older kids, they're set up, they're doing their work, I've got them going. You have to also keep your younger ones, motivated as well. And when I heard that you work with children under 5, I knew that, you would be a great person and asset to share what, families can do with the younger ones. So what can parents do with younger children that is budget friendly, especially if they're, we're all at home, what are some ideas you have for that?
So I'm really excited that you asked this question. This is like my topic. I love this. So yeah, this is my jam right here. So especially on a budget, really awesome. Like my brain is going everywhere right now, just thinking about these different things. One thing, this is how we met, right? Social media, free, right? Literally, you could go on social media and find hashtags and put free activities for kids, activities for toddlers, anything, and you'll be able to find something. You can Google something, and it's there at your disposal. Free activities for the weekends, things like that, which is basically, it's great that we can do that. Recently, I just posted on my IG page, Making Learning Special, is that activities that you can do with your siblings, obstacle course that you can make with things around the house, furniture and all those things. Have a little dance party, there's a lot of inexpensive things. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It doesn't have to be fancy. One of the things I usually want for parents to take away when working with me, especially from 0 to 3 years old, let's say, is that when kids are babies, they don't need too many toys. They really just need you face to face, interacting with them, singing with them, playing peekaboo with them. You carrying them around and commentating about everything that's going on, they're already enjoying all that interaction with you. They're there to kind of explore and learn from you. So, and let me just tell you, my 1-year-old right now, I can have like the funnest toy. I would be like, oh my gosh, this toy is so awesome. He's going to love it, right? He plays with it for 2 minutes, and then he goes to an empty water bottle and plays with that for like 10 minutes. So, you can get creative. I have some things here that I'm getting ready for an IG post too, but like I have a paper towel roll, or a roll that I got from aluminum foil container, right? That, water bottles, those are low cost, multifunctional, and kind of everyday objects. I have those little to-go containers. I have those. My husband always makes fun of me because I kind of hoard all these containers. But trust me, I've made so many different activities from them. And if my little one tosses them like he's doing now, or he takes them apart, it's okay,
Yeah.
It's just paper and things like that. So he's really into, I have this scooper from his formula, and he's literally just into just pretending to scoop and moving it around, tapping it on things and all that. This can keep him occupied for a long time. Yeah, I mean, toddlers, they watch us doing everyday things, and they want to experience that. So giving them that practice is wonderful. Kind of like when you're cooking, you bring them in with you and give them pots and pans and pretend to cook with you. When you're folding clothes, give them a few pieces of clothes, have them sort with you or have them match. These are all developmentally appropriate things, and very kind of things that they need to know anyways, right? So.
Wow, that's so good, because when I do these interviews, it's like, oh, you think sometimes it has to be something so elaborate and so big or something. And it really, the little things, because I took my daughter to the grocery store. She had her little mask on and everything. And we went to the store and I bought chicken. and she said, "Daddy's gonna barbecue." And she just, in her mind, if I, for some reason, and we, of course, we never told her that, but she's seen Daddy barbecue chicken. So in her mind, and she's a little over 2.5 now, in her mind, she felt like that's the way it was going to be cooked. And so it was just like, Daddy's barbecuing chicken. So I said, she really, I went in and I said, you have to barbecue this chicken. He's like, well, I didn't plan on doing that tonight. It's kind of hot. And I was like, well, she's like just adamant. This is what has to be done. You're making this is what has to happen. And it's like, you don't realize that all of learning, really doesn't have to cost anything, because it's happening all the time. Yes. And she's gone outside and just played outside, and here he is barbecuing while she's playing with her toys outside. But she was picking up, he had chicken, he seasoned it, and he barbecued it, and you're thinking, oh, she's riding her little trike and playing with different toys outside, but she was internalizing, this is what Daddy does, and that's primarily the way that he cooks. And it's like putting that together. So I love that, and she had dolls that are brand new that she had just gotten. She was so excited about it. Day one, she was like into it. And I don't even know where she put them now. It's like, so.
Yeah.
But
hey, maybe you could take those dolls back and you can be like, oh, let's barbecue. Let's use your dolls to barbecue.
To get some more chicken, right? So it's amazing what kids are constantly learning from us, what they're picking up on. Not only do you help families, but you also, like you mentioned about being a speech pathologist, and you kind of talked a little bit about what that was for those that don't know. For special needs parents, and this is because, side note, I worked in special ed for 10 years, and this is something that really touches my heart, because I've just worked with a lot of families, and I've seen, been in their homes and at school, and I've just been hearing the outcry for special needs parents, and they're really wondering, what can we do at home? Because they're not able to get to their classrooms like they were. And what are some activities or tips that you can kind of give for the special needs families?
Yeah, you are totally right. I'm in the same boat. I used to do in-home therapy. Now I'm doing mainly teletherapy, through online and things like that, right? So I can see that this is not, this is so challenging just for all families, right? A lot of the activities, that I mentioned can be tailored to special needs kiddos and their needs, basically. And a lot of it that we've just talked about is really involving them in your natural environment, and you could put in their goals that they're working on during their therapies and implement that, because a lot of kids with special needs, what they learn in the therapy room doesn't always generalize to other settings, right?
Yeah.
So this is actually a really wonderful opportunity for parents to be involved and to work with their children outside of that therapy setting, right? And then some of these families, they're able to be there during their therapy time on the screen. So parents are even more involved. So really, I encourage families to think of the goals that these kids have. For example, a 3-year-old working on their action words in speech. Talk about it when you guys are playing. What do you want mommy to do? Or mommy's jumping, what is mommy doing? Things like that. Really trying to think of ways of how you can incorporate their goals in your daily routines already, because that's where we want them to succeed. The reason why we're working on it in therapy is so they could succeed in their daily living, right? So focus on that. There's, again, you've mentioned it, Francesca, there's so much opportunity in just daily activities that you can do with your kids. And also not to forget that a lot of these kids are getting not only the distance learning, but on top of that, they have their other therapies that they're doing virtually. The visual fatigue, the auditory fatigue is real. And it's crucial that we give them that time to kind of really mellow down and give them those breaks. Those breaks are so important, especially with kids who can't communicate. They break down and they don't know how to communicate it. That's the perfect opportunity for you to teach them. It's such a natural teaching moment, teach them about feelings, learning how to cope, things like that. Yeah. So.
And I think that's something all of us, are learning. In my other interview, like I had mentioned, because since we're both talking about virtual learning and education, she had talked about checking in with kids about their mental health, because this is difficult. This is a long time. And kids are used to social interaction. They're used to going to school. They're used to playing on soccer teams and being with their friends. And okay, I'm spending the night at my friend's house and different things. And younger kids are used to going on play dates. And we've done one of our favorite things to do was a library story times, and going there, and then they get the free play at the end, and kids are kind of crawling around and playing and having that interaction. And to have that all removed, that is a struggle. And I think all parents, like you mentioned, we really have to be able to be flexible with our little ones, because they don't have that ability to speak out and say, I'm tired of being at home, or I'm upset because I can't see my friends, and really not interpret the tantrums or different outbursts as, something that we're not doing, but just their inability to communicate their feelings. So I like that. One issue that I've been hearing from parents with small children is how to keep them active during this season at home. What are some tips? Because I've been, doing this, and some days I succeed, some I don't. I don't know, but
I have a lot of energy.
Yes.
I'm like, how do you have this much energy at 5:30 in the morning?
Exactly.
So really, that's a challenge, right? Especially for us, for having little kids. And I think especially in California right now with all the fires, on top of everything going on with COVID, is we have to keep them indoors.
Yeah.
So figuring out a lot of body breaks, a lot of moving and dancing. What I've done for my little guy who just started walking is sometimes I add like weights to his walker that he likes to use sometimes, and I'll be like, let's work out, go, 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 and I get him kind of tired, so kind of.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, and they have lots of fun with that too, oh, mommy's gonna lift, okay, your turn. So that turn taking, making sure, of course, it's in a safe environment, and making sure the material you're using is safe. I've also done kind of in the bathtub, messy play, so it's easier to take his clothes off and take a bath, right? And then just incorporating a lot of different senses. So for kids who are maybe 3 to 5 years old, a little bit older, if they are learning their letters, for example, instead of just watching ABCs or tracing ABCs, incorporate some sensory play into it. You can have some rice, and they can trace the letters with their fingers in the rice. Sorting, make pasta fun, colorful, mix it up, and then have them sort. See how much they can focus. Yeah, there's so many different things. I'm trying to think of my little office here of all other things that I've used, but yeah, there's definitely a range of activities that you can do where your little one's indoors the whole time. And then when they are able to go outdoors, there's a lot of scavenger hunts that's very different categories. Let's find things that's the colors of the rainbow. Oh, let's get the green grass. Oh, do you see any red flowers? Things like that, fun little scavenger hunts. You can put those items in a bottle and make a sensory bottle, things like that.
Oh, that's a great idea. I know, it's like just taking her out and like we let her out of the stroller yesterday, and just having her just run around and run after me, and she's like, I'm running with mommy type of thing, because I was jogging a little and my husband was there and we were letting her run, and she was feeling that excitement of just running, and it tired her out, so
It's good for us
those
too,
little
right?
things. Yeah. So
It gets
because
us tired,
normally
but it's
she
really good for us.
yes, because normally she sits in the stroller, and it's like that's a workout pushing her.
Yeah.
But having her get out was actually, I personally didn't get as much of the workout out of it, but then she was tired out from running. So it's like, it was all good. Do you have any encouraging words for parents that are kind of overwhelmed with having their younger children at home and all the things that are going on? I know that for a period of time, for me personally, with my younger one, I was seeing the tantrums.
Yeah.
And, you kind of wonder, is it because, something we're doing or not doing, or is this just age appropriate? And I was seeing a lot of the tantrums, and then read, okay, this is actually, and I should know that, but, when you've worked in it and everything, it's kind of like with your own child, you kind of forget, and it's like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing this? But we're having those tantrums, really seeing a lot of an increase in tantrums. And, how can you kind of give that encouragement for those of younger kids?
So definitely want to say, parents, your work isn't going unnoticed. You are truly doing your very best. And, it's not always a good day, but you are getting through it. And, it's okay if things aren't perfect. It's fine. We know that as moms, we know it's, you are being flexible. The people who are working with your kids, they are trying their best. So, thank you for that. Sometimes it's the appreciation piece isn't always showing, um, but there's so much that parents are doing and continue to do, especially right now. They are going above and beyond, and I know it's driving them crazy, but cut yourself some slack.
Oh, I love that. Cut yourself some slack. That's what we all need to do right now, because I think the realization that it's not easy for any of us is what kind of, I think, helps all of us, because like a lot of people say, we're in this together,
Yeah.
and that's really a true statement.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just, something people just say, but, we're all in this together and feeling those emotions together.
Yeah.
So do you have any final thoughts for the viewers?
Yeah, I want to let you guys know that there's always a silver lining to everything, right? Continuing to be mindful with your children, and also building that community. Community is huge in anything that you do. You really need that support system. So, there's so much out there. Again, I'm going to mention social media. You can totally find any groups and find one that works best for you. So if you really feel overwhelmed and you really need that support, reach out. There's so many people out there who are willing to help, and you really just have to take initiative. Yeah.
Thank you for watching the conversation I had with Madonna. She gave awesome tips, and I know I'm personally going to use them, and I'm sure you will too. Put in the description some of the things that you like to do with your little one. On Instagram, I've been posting some of the activities that are low cost that I do with my little one. So make sure you follow me there on Instagram at Francesca_Ariola00. And also, I'm going to link in the description how you can follow Madonna. She does virtual story times that are free, and you'll definitely not want to miss that. Last but never least, happy savings!